All right, we're going to get started. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Henry Rondon. I am the CIAZ liaison for indoor track. Welcome, everyone, to the 25-26 indoor track coaches meeting. Again, my message is very brief, and basically, on behalf of the CIAC staff, we thank you all for what you do for the student athletes that you serve. Again, it is very important to note that what you do is not easy year after year. For those of you who are new to coaching, welcome and congratulations. Again, working with our student athletes and being involved in education based athletics is a very important part of the experience for high school students. So, the very first thing that we always like to do is just thank you for your service. Again, we hope that you have a great season. And with that being said, I will turn it over to Dr. Anna Mann, co-chair of the committee.
Thanks so much, Henry, and welcome everyone to another indoor season. I'm Anna Mann. I am Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning for Westport Public Schools and the proud product of curricular-based athletics from a public school in Connecticut. I'm also the parent of two student athletes, former student athletes of Amity Regional High School. And so I just want to, both from a personal and from a professional perspective, thank you, each one of you. I know nobody is here for the paycheck. You're all here because you love to work with students and understand the value that scholastic athletics provides for our students, because learning doesn't stop after they leave the classroom. In fact, I would argue that really important learning begins once they leave the classroom. So again, thank you so much for your dedication to our student athletes and to the youth of Connecticut and to our sport of track and field. We're going to go through some details tonight for the indoor season, but before we do that, I'd like to turn it over to my co-chair, Kurt Ogren, to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone. My name is Kurt Ober, and I'm the principal at Woodland Regional High School, which is Region 16 in Beacon Falls, former indoor track athlete and coach. And again, I just thank you all for what you do. It's so, so important. Uh, Indoor track, over 10,000 participants in Connecticut between boys and girls indoor track. And it really, really makes a difference what you do every day with those student athletes. So I very much appreciate what you do. And if we can be of help in any way throughout the season, please reach out to us. Thank you. Have a great season, everyone.
Thank you. At this time, we will turn it over to Yvonne Grimes for our rules interpretation for the year. Yvonne.
Thank you, Henry. Hi, everybody. I'm Yvonne Grimes. I am the certification chair for track and field officials in the state of Connecticut, and I'm the assigner for the state meets for the CIAC. If anyone or you know anyone is interested in becoming a certified official, we lost three great officials that have passed away this year, and we really need to not only fill their shoes, but we really need to increase our numbers to serve you as coaches and our athletes better. So please get in touch with me if you'd like to be certified. It is not difficult, and we will train you right on the spot anytime during the year. A few of the rules pertain to indoor track. You should all have a 2026 rule book. The 2025 rule book is void, so please do not use it when you're going through rules or trying to make a decision on something that happens during your meet. The 2026 rule book starts with the indoor season. So it goes indoor, cross country, indoor, outdoor, then cross country. So please make sure you have the right rule book. The changes in every rule book are in the first or second page of the rule book, but they just give a brief line or two of what the rule is and what the change is. You really have to go into the book to get the context of the rule. The first one that pertains to indoor is the disqualification and conduct of athletes in their competition. The rule book now allows a professional, a health professional that is designated by the meet to be able to approach and speak with the athlete and make sure that athlete is okay if something happens to them during the race or during their field event and the athlete is not disqualified. You might say that in a race, that doesn't matter. They're going to lose the race, but there are times when they're in the finals and there are 6 athletes and 6 score, and they just have to finish the race, but they went down and they're not sure if they're okay or not. So a health professional that is designated by the meet can approach the athlete, make sure that they're okay. If they are okay, they are not disqualified and can continue on with their competition. Also in Rule 4, it now states that no audio or video could be worn by an athlete during a trial or in a warm-up or during a race. So they have to make sure that this technology, you have to make sure that they are not wearing any technology that is an audio or video type of technology. A lot of the athletes now would like to video their experience from themselves, and they're not allowed to do that. So please make sure they're clean of that. In Rule 6, there are a few field events that pertain to the surface of non-yield pole vault mostly. If there are pallets sticking out of it or there's concrete underneath the standard, anything that's non-yielding, that's above the surface, has to be covered, and has to be secured safely. So you as a coach, if you see this going on, and you can call it an unsafe event, that the meet has to take care of these things before the event should even start. So let's keep our athletes safe with that. Also, in Rule 6, a new rule in high jump and in pole vault, that no longer is it 3 heights passed and an athlete enters the meet and they get a warm-up. Now it is 60 minutes from the start of the event. So no extra warm-up is given until the point of 60 minutes from the start of the event. Then if an athlete is entering at that time, they may have a warm-up. It's 1.5 minutes for high jump, 2 minutes for pole vault, no bungee, no crossbar, and they has to happen at a height change. So this is a significant change from what we've had before. So please let your high jump coaches and pole vault coaches advise their athletes, especially the ones that are coming in at higher heights. That's what this pertains to, that it has to be 60 minutes before they get an extra warm up when entering the meet. I'm going down to a few event changes. Rule 9 has 3 additions. Now the 200-meter can be used indoor as a race. So the 200 or the 300 can be used. You may see this start to happen in invitationals, that the 200 is utilized instead of the 300. Our state meet, we still have the 300, and that is, but you may see that option elsewhere. Also in Rule 9, we now have a definitive 20-meter zone for the 4x200 and for the 200 legs of the sprint medley. So no more 30-meter zone. Some of you are happy about that. So that's good. That's good for everybody. In Rule 9, now the 55 is no longer the definitive sprint for indoor high school athletics. They are now accepting the 60-meter as a viable race for a championship or any meet. So either the 55 or the 60 can be run. Now, in Connecticut, it is the 55. It would have to go through the channels if a 60-meter race would be acceptable for state meet qualifications. We are not there yet with that, or with the 200 for anything. But just to know that those events are now acceptable with National Federation High School. And I think that's it. Good luck, everybody, this year. Can't wait till we get started.
Thank you, Yvonne, and thank you for all the work that you do for the state of Connecticut. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and we will get to them as quickly as we can. With that being said, we're going to turn it over to Ron Knapp and go over athletic.net. Take it away, Ron. Go ahead, Ron. Unmute, Ron.
Hi, I'm Ron Knapp, consultant for the CIAC for AthleticNet for our CIAC championships. And I'm going to go over some of the important facts that you'll need to know as you go through your season and as you approach your event entries for the CIAC class meets. I'll go through some points of emphasis, where you can get online help, and then we'll go through a summary and in a quick Q&A if needed. As you hopefully know, the indoor packet was posted earlier in November. One of the important notes on it is that your team will be assigned to a class championship meet based on your CIAC assignment in the L, M, or S divisions. The deadline for changing, if you wish to, or if you're in a smaller division, to move to a higher division, so that you can keep both teams in the same class, that deadline to submit your request to the CIAC is coming up on December 5th. Some of the things with using AthleticNet, we want to make sure that you have established an account, and hopefully, I know a lot of the schools their AD has an account with their team in AthleticNet as well. One of the most important things to have a successful season and to prevent any issues with event entries is to make sure that your rosters match your CIAC roster. So your AthleticNet team roster should match the CIAC roster with your exact first and last names, the athlete's grade, and then try and remove any duplicates so that there's no confusion when you're entering any meets. The other item, number 3, is that you must have a official meet result between the December 18th, Thursday, until the entry deadline of noon on February 10th. So they must be verifiable entries in AthleticNet, and those will be as a result of official meets logged in AthleticNet. Remember that your submitted entries must equal or better the posted class standards for each event. On a weekly and then probably a daily basis, as we approach the deadline, the entries will be reviewed by a CIAC representative, and your entry will have an indicator with a status button of accepted in green or rejected in red dot. A orange dot will mean that it's pending status, and those entries will require a coach to respond to an email to resolve a known issue. For points, a couple of points of emphasis for relays and distance entries, we allow you to select your relay time for your officially listed meet best time this season, or you can enter in a slower time that is better than the posted class standard for whatever reason that you need to do that. If you do need to manually enter a slower time, then make sure to use the format of minutes, seconds, and hundredths. Try not to put in the hour, minutes, and seconds. Again, according to our rules that are in the packet, enter your probable relay competitors according to those instructions in the packet, but know that the official competitors are declared at the class meets. New number 2 for distance event entries this year for first time in indoor, similar to what we did outdoor last year for the first time. The entries in the 1600 and 3200 meter events, the coach will be able to select their athlete's performance that equals or bested the posted qualifying standards for the 16 and 3200s. Note that AthleticNet will convert a 1500 or a mile to the 1600 meter time, and it will convert a 3K or a 2 mile official time to a 3200 meter time, so that the coach can make that event entry in the 1600 or 3200 meter. Remember, coaches, you cannot use times reported as en route to a longer distance. We have plenty of online help. The AthleticNet provides that. We have a cheat sheet in a PDF form on every class meet page. I'm just going to give you a real quick look at a class meet page here. If you look at a class meet page that you see here, you'll see that there's a PDF link. AthleticNet tutorials are available on each class meet page. So the other thing is that you can do if you have an AthleticNet question at the bottom of every AthleticNet page, you can certainly click on their documentation that gives you how to with any issue that you have. They've really upped their game in providing documentation for us. If you can't find something in there, there is a contact us button that allows you to send an email to the help staff at AthleticNet. So in summary, make sure that you carefully review the packet for this season at the CIAC website, and it details how we're going to be using or how you will use AthleticNet for all the entries for the class and open championships. Also, coaches, make sure that you prepare this season before your meets actually start. Update your team account if needed to add extra coaches or your athletic director, and also make sure that your roster is as accurate as possible prior to making your event entries. Also, remember that we can only use official completed meet results that are posted in AthleticNet for the class meet entries. And again, the online help options, there's several available for ensuring that your entries are completed on time. And then that's it. So I'm going to stop the share and hand it back to you, Henry.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron, for the work that you do. At this time, we're going to turn it over to Tom Jacobs, who just have some instructions as to when we get to our indoor championship meets. So take it away, Tom.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be part of this process now. We're really looking forward to it, and hope to bring about some positive changes that many of you have been hoping for. The first one being that since we are going to be fully using the athletic.net suite, we'd like to start using the scratch window for coaches to be able to modify their lineup prior to their class meet. One of the issues which coaches have brought to me in the past is that they are uncomfortable making scratches due to the fact that those are reflected immediately on the live results. So we're currently working with athletic.net to fine-tune the process we need to use so that you can see the entries prior to the class meet, but feel comfortable using the scratch window so that those decisions you make as a coach are not accessible for the coaches that you are competing against. So that's going to be something we're working on. I have a timeline that we are putting together, and it looks at this point that in order for us to be completely prepared for the beginning of the meet, that the scratch window will be closing 1 hour prior to the first field events. So you can start to create a strategy for yourself. Hopefully you can all use the bus ride over. And really, as a former coach, what we're looking to be able to provide you is the ability to spend more time coaching and less time with those kinds of technical matters prior to the meet. So hopefully this will help a problem that many coaches have communicated with me, and that's incomplete heats, small heats, due to the fact that scratches have not been completed by many people. I'm really hoping that that's step one. But one of the things that the committee really wanted to address this year was the impact that empty heats and non-scratching have placed on the 300 meter. So brand new protocol this year that you all have to understand and possibly coach up your athletes to be able to deal with. And that is that the 300 meter will be a positive declaration event. After we receive entries On my end of the process, we're going to scratch every single 300-meter athlete, and they will only be reintroduced to the lineup once positive declaration has been given to me specifically. I'm going to be in charge of this process. I'm going to set up in the hospitality room at Hill House, put a desk on the door that enters into the large foyer hallway so that athletes and coaches who are checking in athletes won't be on the track surface. And you must declare in order to be part of the pool, which will be seated. And we're going to be doing this positive declaration during the 1600. We are hoping that that will all be completed in that time frame. But obviously, if there are people still in line, we're not going to end it until everyone has a chance to declare. Once the declaration process is closed, it is closed. So coaches have got to either emphasize to their athletes that they need to go do this for themselves, or coaches themselves can positively declare. And then once this process is over, we will be able to seed so that hopefully we will have full heats throughout the entire 300-meter, rather than having heats of 2 or 3. And occasionally it's even been the case where we've run heats of 1, which is technically illegal. So we're hoping to really bring about a better competition for the kids who are involved in that event. And then finally, this is also being finalized, but as a timing company, we're putting together a technical manual so that you as coaches understand exactly how every single event will be seated, so that there's no mystery in that whatsoever, so that you understand lanes of preference, and so that you understand also heat sizes, so that we, again, hopefully bring about the best possible competition for the athletes. So that's what I wanted to bring to everyone's attention with this meeting. We're going to be practicing a lot of what we're going to be doing during the course of the year at our invitationals, so that we can hopefully get to a point of comfortability for everyone involved in the process. Thank you for your time, everybody. And obviously we'll have lots of time to check in with me and ask me questions about these things over the course of the season.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for your work with us. We are extremely happy and glad that you are with us at this point. All right, so at this point, before we take any questions, I'm just going to turn it back to Dr. Anna Mann for a quick second. Go ahead, Anna.
Thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to take the opportunity to publicly and formally thank Don Friedman for his many years of leadership to this committee, on this committee. Don is with us tonight, so hi, Don. I saw your grandson there a couple minutes ago. Very cute. Don has served as a steady hand as co-chair of this committee for well over 20 years, and he is the engine behind lots and lots of things, including the packet that gets posted and shared with all of you. And so we just want to formally show our appreciation and thank you, Don, for your leadership, service, and friendship to the track and field community. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And of course, we all share the same sentiments. Just an outstanding individual and has done such a great job for really all of the running sports in the state of Connecticut for a very, very long time. So thank you, Don. Again, at this time, no problem.
Again, at this time, no problem.
Hold on a second. Okay, so at this time, I am looking to see if there are any questions. I see the one that's in the chat was answered. And again, rule books, again, should have gone out to your schools. If for whatever reason you haven't received one and didn't get to your school, please make sure that you email our office, and we will, of course, get you one to your school. So a question in the chat. Is there a legal regulation spike size length for jumpers?
Yes, the facility will call the spike, and I can tell you now at Floyd Little with that new surface going down, it will only be 3/16 even for high jumpers, and it's always been that way there anyway. Also in our facility in Bethel, it's 3/16. Indoor, you'll find that anywhere really in Connecticut, it's 3/16. I think Yale allows quarters, but there's no, as in the collegiate, longer spike allowable for high jump.
Thank you. Okay. Next question. Can you update us on the Hill House track? I'm sorry, renovation status. I think I'm sorry, Yvonne, were you going to say something? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I don't know if you up there. They canceled their first meet. They've now canceled their second meet. So the meet on the 19th is also canceled. They don't have a definitive date yet. They're going to let it roll because it's not in their hands. So they were just told that it will not be ready for their second meet on the 19th.
Thank you. Please explain positive declaration process. Is this when the students get their competition stickers?
No, the positive declaration is going to just enter the athlete into the seating process. It's not going to be done at the seating table. All this is going to do is to confirm their intent to enter in the 300. So after that point, we as the timing company will seed the event, get the clerking sheets over at the table, and 300-meter athletes will be able to check in for their hip numbers during the sprint medley relay.
Thank you. And again, if anyone out there thinks of another question that they have not asked, feel free to email me. And if I cannot answer the question, I definitely can direct it to either Yvonne, Tom, or Ron, and we will answer any question for you throughout the season. And again, as I stated earlier, this meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the CIAC indoor track site. The next question is the Hill House December 27th meet still on? I'm sure they will notify you whether or not it will still be on. So that's probably the best answer we would have for you right now. All right, I'll just give it about another minute. If I don't see anything, we will shut it down. Again, I'd like to thank everyone tonight who came to the meeting. As I said before, the meeting is being recorded and will be posted on our site. Can you positive declare for the 300 prior to the 1600? This would alleviate crowding.
Ed, one of the reasons we want to hold off until the 1600 is because we figure an athlete may choose to not run the 300 due to an injury in the final of the dash or the hurdles. And so we're trying to delay that decision so that we don't create empty lanes. And again, this is a decision made by the committee, and it may not have come to this point if coaches had followed through with scratching in the past, which it hasn't. And that's also why I'm taking responsibility for this, because I think with our knowledge of the athletic.net suite, that we're going to be able to check people in very quickly and efficiently, and that we won't have a long wait time.
Thank you. This positive declaration is at conference championships, class meets, opens, etc. I would assume. I know at the class. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom. You can go ahead.
I think conferences are going to make those decisions, you know, on and whether they want to follow through on the CIAC protocol. I know that the SCC will be using positive declaration, and I also know the FCIAC will be. I have not checked in with the other conferences which we're going to be timing for, but I also expect the CCC to do this as well. And so it'll give everybody a chance to practice, understand the, how to go about making this happen. But it still will be a conference decision, and we don't time every single conference meet. My hope is that we're going to employ it in all the conference meets which we are timing.
Thank you. What is the procedure if a student is absent from a relay? If you can clarify that, is that, are we talking if you have 3 and a 4th doesn't show? I just want to, can you go ahead and unmute yourself and ask the question? Whoever D Chase is, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask the question. All right, we'll wait. Any other questions out there? Again, like I said, if you have any other questions, can't think of it now, you get one during the season, make sure you can email me, and I am more than happy to get the answer for you from someone from the panel. Okay, with that being said, I would like to thank everyone for coming tonight. And
hey, Ron, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Just with Hill House having a delay on as to when they're going to be ready, a lot of schools rely on Hill House to get their kids qualified, and we're looking at a 2 to 3 week window of kids not being able to compete. There are some schools that can travel to New York, Rhode Island, Boston. There's other schools that rely strictly on Connecticut options, and there are great venues, but like venues are limited. Bethel has a venue, but they can't host a Hill House like meet. Wesleyan has partial events. Southern Connecticut State University also has partial events. Is there any way, if this goes down past a certain amount of weeks, where we can entertain honoring kids' qualifying marks from last year just for qualifying purposes? And then if they don't do that race or that mark, they don't get in the hot heat unless they do that time or mark in season. Because there are many schools that do not go out of state, and our school will probably be one that actually does go out of state. But I'm looking at the whole picture here.
Sure, no problem, Brian. I understand your concern. Probably the best answer to that is I think we need to get to that point. We got to see where we are. I would say at some point in January, and then it would be something that we would have to address. If it becomes limited, then we're going to have to probably convene the committee, because it would really be their decision, and we would have to figure out as to how to proceed forward, knowing that there might be limited opportunities to get the qualifying marks. So that's for everyone out there. That's most likely how we would proceed. We'll monitor the situation, see where we're at in terms of when they're allowed to open and how many meets they're actually able to have student athletes get qualifying marks.
All right, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Any other questions?
Yes, hello, sir. I was the one that asked the question about a student being absent from a relay.
Yes,
So
go ahead.
So if we're going to a meet and we have 4 students that are registered for a meet, and all of a sudden someone emails me or texts the other coaches or myself that they're absent, how do we get a brand new person into a relay?
Well, if you've already basically given the list
Yes.
At the when you give the list, there obviously are going to be more than 4 student athletes on the list. So basically, your question is if one of the 4 who is in the qualifying, who has gotten the qualifying time, cannot run, basically you just substitute him with someone who's on your relay declaration sheet.
Also, so that name has to be on that list ahead of time, correct?
When you go to the meet, you give them the names.
That in addition, as well as the substitutes, correct?
Correct.
Very good. Okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Any other questions? Okay. Like I said before, any questions, you know where to find us. Again, to everyone out there, good luck with your season. We hope that it goes as well as it can for you. And we will see you soon. Thank you for coming tonight, everyone.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you.